Hello everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Lucas Larson. A lot of you have probably already seen my film, The People Who Suspend, or maybe you've been using the equipment I've been making for the past 15 or so years. But what a lot of you probably don't really know about me is how I learned suspension. In the beginning, there weren't a lot of good opportunities for education in suspension. Still really aren't. To learn, I tracked down people doing it locally in my area. And I went back and forth a little bit with a group in my area, but ultimately they just kind of decided I wasn't a good fit and refused to even talk to me. So I was left with zero recourse. It was just, basically get online, look at some pictures and do the best I could with, what I could figure out. Thankfully, I survived those early years without hurting myself or anyone else, but a lot of that was luck. I mean, there were a lot of suspensions that, just look at me right here. I am blissfully ignorant to the fact that, the slightest rigging failure means I am paralyzed. I'm no longer going to be able to walk. I loved this suspension. It was a beautiful moment for me, but this could have been done without putting me in unbelievable danger, which I was in, despite this look of elation on my face. Unfortunately, not everyone is as lucky as I was. I watch videos. I interview the people who were involved in these horrible accidents. And I get all the information I can, hoping that by collecting this and sharing it, that it won't happen again, but it's going to continue to happen realistically. So there needs to be a resource where people can go and get this proper education. And more importantly, join a network of practitioners who openly share information with each other. Unfortunately, a lot of people in suspension, they treat knowledge about suspension like a trade secret, which is terrible. In my opinion, that's an awful way to look at things. This is a beautiful, life-changing experience, and you want to put up barriers to where people can't have access to it? I don't. The pandemic has taught us that we can do a lot of education online. When it's necessary, we can do it. But that doesn't mean it's not diminished. Ultimately, most educators aren't filmmakers. I, on the other hand, am. Instead of huddling around in a circle while I demonstrate some rigging technique in person, you guys can be looking at a beautiful macro shot of the rigging happening, on a scale larger than what you would be able to see even if you were blocking my view while I was doing it. This is an enhancement over in-person learning. Not to mention the fact that the videos of the specific techniques will be available to everyone taking the class, so you can watch them over and over again and drill these techniques prior to reaching the graduation ceremony where we're actually putting them to use. Everyone will be very confident by the time we reach there. This system is based around simplicity, radical simplicity, because the simpler the system is, the easier it is to learn, the easier it is to teach, and the fewer mistakes there are to be made. So I'll show you all the tools I use for suspension, as well as all the rigging equipment options. You'll learn about the required tools and supplies, and you'll receive a list of vendors, so you can recreate my travel kit if you like, or you can build one that suits your specific needs. I'm going to teach people how to use the tools that I've designed, as well as all the very specialized pieces of rigging equipment. I'll teach you all the fundamental knots that we use for rigging a suspension. And then I'm going to show you the system that I use today that actually eliminates the need for any knots and eliminates the need for a lot of tools that have been considered staples that we always need. But you know what? Whenever you're out doing a suspension and you find out that piece of equipment that is a staple in your system is for some reason not there, well, everything can fall apart. So removing all of those things, like removing each piece of equipment that isn't critical, simplifies the system and it makes it more reliable. And so that's what I'm teaching. And it's been a long time coming. This is only from, over a decade of suspensions, assisting or facilitating over 1,000 suspensions at this point, suspending in every conceivable manner. Only after all of this have I come to this point. And spending the past 7 years literally documenting this curriculum into an accelerated format to where people can learn this quickly. This doesn't need to be a year-long apprenticeship that who knows if you're ever really going to come to the point. Who knows if the person who's teaching you is ever going to let you reach the point where you can just do suspensions on your own. Unfortunately, a lot of the ways that people are teaching is by design, always keeping you working below your teacher. And that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking to teach people and have them go be guides on their own and even teach other people. Pass on this information. I don't know how long I'm going to be here. Like realistically, like I don't know how long I'm going to have the ability to teach people. I need this knowledge passed on. A lot of people are going to criticize this, saying that this is a dangerous concept, that something that carries as extreme of consequences as suspension could be taught online. Well, let me just put that to rest. Ultimately, yes, there is risk with suspension, but all that risk really doesn't exist until the skin is pierced and feet are lifted up off of the ground. So we save all of that for the graduation retreat. Everything leading up to that is we're just running drills. We're learning the system, and that way everyone has plenty of time to literally review over all of these techniques ad nauseum. And then whenever we get out there under close supervision, everyone can do lots of suspensions and have this amazing transcendent experience. And most importantly, leave with the tools required to give that life-changing experience to other people. So I welcome anyone who is interested in exploring this system, gaining this knowledge. Go to the website, bodysuspensionuniversity.com. There's plenty of information on there. Any questions that are not answered, put them into the contact form at the bottom of the website, and I will be back with you immediately. I am looking to fill up this first class right away. So it's a great honor to finally be able to offer others an effective and accessible path to this education, the one that I was denied.